These guys get paid. So I ain't pissed at him at all. Good for Miami. Run the score up.
But why would you be pissed at He might have spent a lot of time at the tattoo parlor. He was not at the dinner table eating what the nutritionist had advised.
My background is, I come from a Samoan family. Respect is everything.
The Miami Dolphins and Denver Broncos Week 3 showdown, 70-point burger. You love to see it. It may seem peculiar given the Miami Dolphins exhibited a performance of historical proportions. Mike McDaniels is entering an era of eliteness that head coaches don't have usually. Listen to this quote. All offseason, our conversations were dominated by discussions about overcoming adversity. And it's crucial to understand that adversity could also mean maintaining a lead of a couple of scores because the overall atmosphere can influence your output. This is Mike McDaniel preaching to his team, saying this 70-point burger that they smacked down on the Denver Broncos, it's not about disrespect. It's about a new standard. I keep seeing a lot of these Twitter finger people talking about how it was disrespectful for what Miami did, how it was rude, how it was arrogant, and how they deserve to be embarrassed against Buffalo in Week 4. What Mike McDaniels is saying is we aren't being arrogant, we aren't showing ego, we are showing the new Miami Dolphins standard, and that is all gas, no brakes. In their recent clash against the Denver Broncos, the Dolphins upheld these principles, delivering a staggering 70-20 victory. They accumulated a massive 726 total offensive yards, 350 of which were rushing, marking it as the epitome of offensive mastery since McDaniel assumed his role. This is an offensive firepower that is peculiar to the history of the NFL. Do you understand this? With 70 points, the Dolphins set the bar, scoring the highest in the NFL since 1966, equaling the third highest in the game in the history of the league. McDaniel, recognizing the magnitude of these numbers, insinuated that his squad is eyeing much loftier objectives this season, asserting that this accomplishment is just a stepping stone toward larger aspirations. The Dolphins, carrying a 3-0 record after making waves as the sole undefeated team in the AFC and boasting the #1 offense in the league. This is attributed to McDaniel's ingenious play constructions, Tua Tagovailoa's impressive arm, and a group of players whose speed is unrivaled. According to NFL's Next Gen Stats, Miami holds the titles for the 6 fastest ball carriers this season. Wide receiver Tyreek Hill owns 3 of these rankings, with one marking the fastest this year at 22.07 miles per hour during one of his 9 reception Sundays. Rookie running back Devon Archane, not a chain, he's told us this now, is not far behind, with speeds of 21.93 miles per hour and 21.62 miles per hour on his carries. Raheem Mostart, the running back with multiple touchdowns in consecutive games, and also landed a spot on the list, reaching speeds of 21.62 miles per hour in the second week. Another fast mover, Jaylen Waddle, is under concussion protocol following the collision in Week 2. Wait, so you're telling me the Dolphins made history without one of the most lethal wide receivers in the NFL? So you're telling me everything that Tua did and the offense did for Miami, it could have been better with Jaylen Waddle in the lineup? What's working? What is this? The offensive line of the Dolphins has undergone notable enhancement, shifting from the previous season's criticized state to a formidable unit, a good enough unit. Remarkably, for the second time this season, they've managed to prevent any sacks in a game, totaling to just 1 sack through 3 games. The last time the Dolphins achieved such a feat was back in 1989. Consequently, Tua has endured minimal contact with only 5 hits. This has to be it, guys. This has to be the new standard. This has to be the only way you guys make it to the Super Bowl is if you keep Tua clean. It's important. With an astonishing record of scoring touchdowns on 10 out of 13 offensive drives and securing 3 turnovers against the Broncos, there's scarcely any room for critique for the Dolphins. Devon Archane is drawing attention with his remarkable 203 rushing yards in just his second game, setting a record for the most rushing yards by any player in their first or second game of his career in the Super Bowl era. He, along with Mostart, also made history as the second pair of teammates to each secure 4 touchdowns in a single game. Through the conclusion of Week 3, the Dolphins have amassed 130 points and 1,651 total yards, marking the highest in the NFL since 1970. Additionally, Miami has a striking 11-1 record in games started by Tua Tagovailoa against teams led by Super Bowl winning coaches. This includes a streak of 10 consecutive wins, with victories over notable names like Bill Belichick 5, Sean Payton 2, Sean McVay, John Gruden, John Harbaugh, and Mike Tomlin. Tua and Mike McDaniels are showing the league that they are to be respected and known. Tua's only loss in such matchups dates back to December 13th of 2020, and that was against Andy Reid and the Chiefs. Understandable. While the Miami Dolphins' offensive proficiency has been the talk of the town, the 20 points allowed during Sunday's game warrants discussion. We got to talk about the defense. I'm sorry, Tua. Happy for you, Mike McDaniel. Tyreek Hill, you're amazing. We got to talk about the 20 points that the defense gave up. The defensive unit was responsible for conceding only 13 points, with the remainder attributed to a punt return touchdown by the special team. So the score technically was 70-13. Okay, reflecting on the progression, the Dolphins' run defense evolved from its poor showing in the first week to a more competent display in the second, with the Sunday showcasing a further transformation. After being susceptible to multiple 100-yard rushers in the opening week, the defense tightened it up, allowing the entire Broncos team a nasty 69 yards rushing. 69. Further evaluating their defense, the Dolphins orchestrated 3 turnovers during Sunday's game, marking consecutive games with multiple turnovers. The turnover tally included 2 forced fumbles and 1 interception against Wilson. Devon Archane, one of my favorite players in the NFL. I am not a Miami fan. I love Devon Archane. Emerged as a key player, executing 2 pivotal fumble forces on Courtland Sutton, showcasing agility and precision even after being initially outmaneuvered on 1 reception. The Dolphins managed to demolish the Broncos' running attempts effectively, with the defense leaving little room for maneuvering throughout the game. Any breakouts to the second level were promptly handled by linebackers and safeties, ensuring no substantial runs occurred. It's crucial to acknowledge such substantial defense accomplishments, contributing to maintaining momentum and controlling the game pace. So what now, Miami? What now? You're only going to get better when Jalen Ramsey comes back. There are some unfortunate questions that I need to give to my Miami audience. Tua might ask for some money. Other quarterbacks in his draft, Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, got paid. Tua is playing at a high level, and he is showing you firsthand that you can't do this without him. You can't. Tua's agent hopefully is a good guy, doesn't walk in there after week 4 when you guys probably beat the Bills, and puts a contract in front of management and says, hey, I'm not playing again until I get a deal done. It could happen. Another question is, what kind of embarrassing statement would it be if you guys put up 70 points, have a disgustingly scary offense, and you don't make the AFC Championship? What about then? We cannot make history as an offense, Miami. And then on the flip side, you can't even make it to the AFC Championship. It's a long season. It is not a sprint. It is a marathon. Comment section, please. Miami, what do you guys think about your team? What do you guys think about the future? Do you still believe in Tua? Should he get that extension? Do you believe in Mike McDaniels and his experience of leading you guys to the AFC Championship? And this defense, can they stay intact? Can you guys keep things going and grooving? Let me know. Like, comment, subscribe.